Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday the 30th of December 2021. Today's video will be more reaction and interviews from after yesterday's game and a little bit of stats, and that'll be it. So we're going to start off with this from londonnewsonline.co.uk. 4 takeaways from Mill's 1-0 win at Coventry. Junior Lions, Alex Pearce leads by example and playoffs looking a better gain. Mill showed tremendous character to grind out an impressive 1-0 win over Coventry City on Wednesday night against the odds. The Lions had just 14 senior players available after a number of positive COVID-19 cases and injuries, but saw a request to postpone the match turned down by the EFL. Tom Bradshaw gave Mill their reward for battling on after his strike deep in the second half proved to be enough to seal a huge win for Gary Rowett's men. Here are Daniel Marsh's 4 takeaways from the Lions' midweek triumph. Junior Lions. It's no secret that the Lions have been hit hard by a number of positive COVID-19 cases over Christmas, with their Boxing Day clash with Swansea postponed as a result. But Mill's request to have Wednesday night's trip to Coventry cancelled was turned down by the EFL, despite Rowett having just 14 senior players to choose from. The Lions starting lineup was more than respectable and probably not a million miles away from a first choice 11, but it's worth bearing in mind that a host of players had very little training due to isolation periods. On the plus side, it meant Rowett could call up a trio of academy graduates to be involved with the squad for the clash with Mark Robins' side. Forward Zach Lovelace, 15, stole the headlines in the build-up to the clash, but there were also call-ups for 19-year-old midfielder Nana Boateng and 20-year-old defender Bisart Topolodge. It was Lovelace who came on with just minutes to spare to cap a perfect night for the Lions, who turned in a typical Millwall display when their backs were against the wall. Bradshaw strikes again. If you were to ask any Mill fan who was most likely to nick a goal on Wednesday night when the teams came out, the majority would have picked out Bradshaw. That hasn't always been the case for the former Barnsley man, who's had to endure some pretty horrific goalless runs throughout his Lions career, but he's in red-hot form right now. Bradshaw's predatory finish from close range to seal the points for the Lions was his 4th strike in as many games and his 6th overall this term, more than he managed in the whole of last season. Given his purple patch in front of goal and his blossoming understanding with lonely Benicophobia up front, it's not really a surprise that Rowett and the Lions are trying to tie Bradshaw down to fresh terms. Bradshaw's revival at the Den has been nothing short of remarkable, and he looks likely to have a big say on whether or not the Lions can fulfil their lofty playoff aspirations. Captain Fantastic. The decision to hand Alex Pearce a new deal in the summer wasn't something that left the majority of Lions fans infused. Pearce was always likely to spend the season deputising for the likes of Jay Cooper, Sean Hutchinson and Murray Wallace. Dan Ballard's impressive start to life in the Championship has further restricted the 33-year-old's minutes in the league this year. But Pearce put in a real captain's performance when he was called upon for the trip to Coventry. The ex-Derby defender led by example in the heart of the Lions back three and seemed to be in the right place at the right time all night long. It felt as though the skipper didn't put a foot or head wrong. It still feels pretty unlikely that the Irishman is going to muscle in on a regular spot and Rowett's side in the second half of the season, but his display in the Midlands certainly silenced a few critics and proved he's still a viable option to fill in now and again with Ballard sidelined. Season still alive and kicking. Mill's awful 2-1 defeat at Peterborough feels like an eternity ago after a spate of cancellations in the AFL. If the morale-sapping defeat dented Mill's playoff hopes, then the Lions' unlikely win at Sky Blues helped to reinvigorate them. Rowett's men now sit 3 points behind the top 6 with a game in hand on some of the sides above them. If Mill can find the traditional second half of the season surge, then there's still every chance that this could be one of the most memorable seasons in SC16 for quite some time. The onus is on the Lions to ensure this performance isn't another false dawn like the 3-1 win over Birmingham prior to the Peterborough calamity. So there's that, and we also have this from news@den.co.uk. Mill boss on message to COVID hit squad before inspired performance at Coventry City. Mill boss Gary Rowett said he didn't use the circumstances around their game against Coventry City as extra motivation for his players. The Lions wanted the match postponed as they had just 14 fit senior players on Tuesday, including 2 goalkeepers, but the request was rejected by the EFL. Rather, Rowett urged the side to match the intensity they had shown in arguably their best performance of the season, the 3-1 win over Birmingham at the Den earlier this month. Mill followed that up with one of their poorest displays of the campaign to lose 2-1 at Peterborough United. The Lions hadn't played since that game 18 days previously, and despite all the disruptions caused by injuries and positive COVID-19 cases, they dug in, and Tom Bradshaw scored the only goal with 11 minutes left. If I'm being honest, my message was the usual one. Rowett said, "We need to produce a performance with the intensity of Birmingham, not the intensity of Peterborough. That's been our challenge all season. When we play with good intensity, when we show a little bit of fight, a little bit of drive, that's what you've got to do to win games away from home. Some of the tactical nuances of that performance are things that are important, but they're not the most important. It's the attitude of the players and the desire to want to do the hard yards, the difficult things on an evening that we knew the game." On nights like this, I think the players do it predominantly themselves as well, because they turn up, they know our backs are against the wall, they're good characters in there, and they know we've got to go and put a big performance in. And they know there's very little we can do to change it. I left Scott and Malone and Benicphobia on the bench for different reasons, but I felt we were going to need impact later on. I felt we were going to have to get the 60-70 minute mark with the team that we had, and then we might need that impact. Really, tonight the credit has to go to the players. They put in an incredible shift. They've shown a little bit of character. Millwall travelled to Bristol City on Sunday, aiming for back-to-back wins for the first time since October. Rowett added, "What we've got to do now, it's been like all season, we've put in a really good performance, and then we've got to try and back it up. A good team backs it up." Indeed, that's kind of remarkable. We haven't had back-to-back wins since October. Wow, that was a long time ago. Well, not really, but seems like it. So moving on now, more from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. So Gary Rowett is talking about Alex Pearce. So Gary Rowett admitted that Alex Pearce surpassed his expectations on his return to Millwall's side, with the captain leading by example in last night's 1-0 win at Coventry City. The 33-year-old centre-back had made just one championship out in this season as an 86-minute substitute at home to Birmingham City. But Pearce played the full match at Coventry City Arena. The last time he achieved that was in a 0-0 draw at Brentford in mid-April. Asked about the skipper's display, Rowett told the South London Press, "Real leadership performance, a real captain's performance. I spoke to Piercy earlier in the season. I said part of the challenge was that I wanted to go with a little bit more mobility in the back three so we can play a little bit higher and press higher." He completely understood that. The team has been conceding goals recently, particularly away from home. It was always in my mind to bring him back and see if he had that calming and organising influence on the team. I've got to say, even I didn't think he'll be able to produce that type of performance without playing for so long. It showed his character and what class act he is. He had a real impact on a clean sheet away from home indeed. What do I say? Form is temporary, class is permanent. And I think we saw that with Alex Pearce yesterday. So moving on now, Tom Bradshaw speaking. This is all from London News Online. Tom Bradshaw, "I want Zach Lovelace to kick on after his Millwall debut." Tom Bradshaw has urged 15-year-old striker Zach Lovelace to use his Millwall debut as motivation to kick on. Lovelace became the club's second youngest player when he was introduced in second half stoppage time in Wednesday's 1-0 win at Coventry City. Bradshaw said, "I was over the moon for him. He's been amazing in training. For a 15-year-old to come and train with the first team and not look out of place. He ran rings around a few of us in training, and that's something that isn't just a novelty that's deserved tonight. I think I was playing for my local team at 15. It's a brilliant achievement. He should use this as a motivation now to kick on and try and get more minutes. He's definitely got the talent." Bradshaw's goal with 11 minutes remaining sealed all 3 points for the South Londoners. The 29-year-old said, "You have those games where they're almost a stalemate. There's no chances at either ends. Not even half chances, really. I saw the ball drop, the keeper stayed on his line, it's a half chance. I miss it first time and thought it had gone. I miss it a second time and thought, my God. Luckily, I was about half a yard out, so I couldn't miss the third time. The best kind of goals. I enjoy that just as much as scoring a 25-yarder. They're my bread and butter, and to get the win was brilliant." So there's Tom Bradshaw speaking there. So that's yesterday's game. Done and dusted. We've got to refocus, regroup, and go again, because we go again on Sunday. Got to travel all the way out to Bristol City. So what's happening with that and injuries and whatnot? So this is from London News Online. 2 senior players set to be available for Bristol City match. So we've got players coming back now more players. George Evans and Ben Thompson should both be back in contention for Mill's championship match at Bristol City on Sunday. The Lions had 14 senior players available for the 1-0 win over Coventry last night due to COVID-19 cases and injuries. But Millwall manager Gary Rowett is expecting a couple more players who are isolating to return to the squad for this weekend. George and Tomo are probably the only two who will come back in, he said. It is good because we only got 2 fit midfielders in the old club. We've not even got an under 23 midfielder available. I don't think Jed will be back for then. He's struggling a bit with his quad. Muzza had cramp. I kept Bennick and Smudge on the bench. I felt I needed some energy off the bench late. With those two coming back in, it allows 2 others to have a little breather. We've got to wrap the players up in cotton wool. If they get through this little period, they will be fine. So Murray Wallace with cramp there. I hope that's okay. This is the game at Bristol City. Players starting to come back, and you can, if you want to go watch it, you have a very short window to buy tickets, because I don't know what's going on here, but tickets for Mill's trip to Bristol City on Sunday, 1 PM kickoff, will go back on sale to season ticket holders and members from 2 PM on Thursday the 30th of December, so today, to 2 PM on Friday 31st of December, online only. So I don't know where they were online, where they were selling before and why they went off sale. Probably because the ticket office was closed, and because Christmas was on a weekend, we've had 2 extra bank holidays, so the whole Christmas week has been extended into Tuesday, and probably didn't go back to work until Wednesday, so ticket office probably was closed until then. But you've got a very short window to buy a ticket, and you need to buy a ticket in advance. There will never be no pay on a day option. You need to buy online only. They're not even saying if it's going to be, it doesn't look like it's not even, you can call them up. Sometimes they give you the option to call up, so it's online only. And they're telling you, it says when you go online and go through to click on buy a ticket and you go through all that, it gives you the option to collect from the den. Now obviously it's an away game, you cannot collect from the den. You need to go to Ashton Gate and collect it from there. But they can't change that on the den, it just says collect from the den. That's not the case. Just click on that and just know that you're gonna have to collect it from Ashton Gate. So there you go. And they're gonna let you know, so with specific collection details to be determined as soon as possible. So I'll probably tell you which, you go to here, go to there, wherever you got to go. Obviously, so yeah, so that's the Bristol City game coming up on Sunday, 1 PM. Is it 1 PM kickoff? Now I don't know if this is going to be on 1 PM kickoff. I don't know if this is going to be on iFollow to watch. The Coventry game wasn't, which is a weird surprise. Especially as a midweek game. I don't know about this one. We'll find out. I'll let you know in a preview or before then. So yeah, I'll let you know. So now we're going to move on to the stats section. If you're not interested in stats, thank you for watching. If you are, here we go. So now this kind of game, it's not about the stats, to be honest with you. It's about the heart of the players, the effort, the energy, the grit, the determination in the face of adversity that they showed. It's the human aspect of football was what that game was about. It's why we love it. Against all odds, they got the win, and it's absolutely amazing. So it's not really about the stats that a game like that yesterday. But let's have a little look anyway. So this is from infogoal.net, and just going to show you, I'll show you the stats. If you look in the middle, the XG is 1.24 to 1.22. So on the chances Coventry created, they should have had at least 1 goal. They didn't, which speaks volume of the Mill defence. You can see here possession 52 to 48, attempts on target 2 to 2, attempts off target 7 to 6, block shots 5 to 1. There's the defending. There's Mill's defending for you. that we blocked 5 of their shots, and I imagine that would include one goalkeeper save. So goalkeeper saves 1 and 2. Total passes 463 to 370, and completed passes 351 to 262. So not a massive amount of passing compared to us and normal teams do. Corners 6 to 3, offsides 2 to 1, fouls 13 to 9, yellow cards 1 to 1. So there you go, there's your stats. Now let's have a look at the map. I love the map on this site. That's I'm going to show you now. I don't think it's going to be very flattering to Millwall, but that doesn't matter because we did get the goal. Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And there you can see it, point blank, when you're inside the 6-yard box. I mean, a lot of Bradshaw, he's scoring all his goals, but a lot of them are in the 6-yard box. You got to get in that area. You put balls in there, people start fucking panicking. So you got to do that. Yeah, make them panic. Make them work for it. It's a fairness rating. Was that a fair result? Apparently not. 69 out of 100. That was verging on it. They're saying probably it should have been a draw. Well, it wasn't. It was a 1-0 to Millwall. So there you go. And here you can see how small the circles are. That's how poor their chances were in terms of the probability of them scoring. They had 2 decent chances, both in the first half, both one after the other, and not a lot of other things going on. So let's have a look and go first half, second half. So first half, yeah, Millwall just defending, making sure. I told you in the video before the game, the preview video, when we go to Coventry and we keep a clean sheet, we usually win. So obviously that was important. Keep that clean sheet. Keep the clean sheet. Don't worry about getting a goal. You can always get a goal from set pieces. You can get a goal in like 10 seconds. I remember the the Michael Owen goal against Argentina on the counter. Bang. It takes like 5 seconds. I think it was like 5 seconds, 5.6 seconds to get from England's area to the Argentine area and scoring a goal. It's absolutely amazing. So that was the first half. Now here comes the second half. So second half, Coventry start getting a bit worried and starts taking long shots, trying to not really being able to open up Millwall, get inside the area, so being forced to take shots from further out, which are not good quality chances. But you can see Millwall, a lot more going on in the second half of Millwall. We've got this one here. That's Tom Bradshaw again there. That one is George Saville. Yeah, I think that one just went over the bar. So there you go. Fantastic stuff from Millwall. Moving on to this is from WhoScored.com. What did they say? Millwall stole the ball often from the opposition. Were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces. Indeed, indeed. Alex Pearce with the high ball up to Jake Cooper, who headed it on to Benikophobia, who flicked it on to Tom Bradshaw. Absolutely fantastic. Lost possession often though, committed a high number of individual errors. Played with width, attacked down the right hand side. So attempts, it was actually 14 to 9, 9 to 4 open play, 5 to 5 set piece. They had 14 shots, did not score. We had 9 and scored 1, so that's 11%, which is not bad for us. That's pretty decent for us. We're normally down like 5-6%. You can see there the attack shots, shot directions, shot zones. But yeah, they didn't get inside our 6-yard box. It was 80-20% inside the 18-yard box and outside. Action zones, mostly in the middle. Player positions, there you can go. See, we're pretty compact in the middle, and they are kind of spaced out between the wide men and the players in the middle. It's quite interesting indeed. So Let's have a look now at what are we looking at? We're looking at this. So here you go, in front of a crowd of 18,500. If you look at the club badges at the top, you see the average score for the teams, for the players who played for that team that day. 6.43 for Coventry and 6.95 for Millwall. So Millwall were the better team. They did more things and got a higher score individually as players. You can see here, man of the match, Jake Cooper, closely just pipping out Murray Wallace, he who had a clearance off the line, and Tom Bradshaw not far after, 7.8. So there you go. Let's have a look. So total shots 14-9, and there you go. Nearly everyone getting involved in the shots. So that will be the set pieces, I imagine, with Hutchinson, Cooper, and Bennett, and there you go. Bradshaw at the bottom in the post as well. And possession, not really any one player dominating really. Not really. Hutchinson for us, I imagine. 6.5, not bad. 3.9 for Biakowski, so obviously spending a bit more time on the ball. Probably trying to eat up some minutes and get that clock ticking down. Pass success. Ojo 87, there you go. Pierce 88. Impressive. So obviously not taking any risks with his passing there. Alex Pierce. Biakowski, that's good for him, 53. He's normally in the 30s. That is very good for him. Dribbles 6-10. Ojo dribbling like a kid on having a feed. Aerials 1, 33-28. So they actually, wow, they did us in the air. Interesting. Normally don't get done in the air. I am and Sheaf getting most of them. For us, Cooper and Wallace getting involved. Interesting. Tackles 17-19. So we won the tackles. The Sheaf again there, number 9. 9 tackles there. And what everyone on the pitch having winning a tackle for Millwall except for Ojo and Biakowski. Interesting. Corners 6-3. Bennett, Saville, and Wallace took them. Dispossessed 12-9. There you go. 12-9. That's dispossessed means basically being harried and jostled and having the ball taken off you. Not quite. I don't know how that differs from a tackle, but I imagine. Well, if you're running with, I imagine if you're dribbling with the ball, you're running with the ball, and someone just runs in and takes it off you, that kind of thing, or just kicks it away. For us, it was Ojo and Bennett, the two players who got subbed. So there you can see. Well, if you keep getting dispossessed, that's not going to do us any good, especially if they break on the counter. So now we're going to do a bit more looking through the players' stats, and you'll see what we can see. So ratings wise, just literally by 0.01 Cooper to Murray Wallace 7.87, but she got 6 players on 7 or above. That's 6 players on 7 or above. That's fantastic. Yeah, really good touches. Hutchinson, Danny McNamara, Murray Wallace, Billy Mitchell getting the most touches. Shots on target. Shots. Well, we see there that nearly everyone in Millwall had a shot on target, or basically a header. No, not shot on target, a shot. And all of these, so 8 different players having shots, but how many are on target? 2. Now that's interesting. If you have 2 shots on target and you get 1 goal, and that's enough to win the game, you really do need your defence to be on point, as they say. 2 shots on target, 1 goal. So 50% of our shots on target went in. that's a fantastic percentage, but in terms of only having 2 shots on target out of all these shots, still a bit ropey though, isn't it? But like I said, that performance yesterday was absolutely fantastic, against all odds. It's really the human story of football and why we love it so, and not really about the stats. But unscheduled touches, poor ball control, Benicophobe, Bradshaw, quite a few actually, so that's a bit annoying, I imagine. Total tackles, Cooper, Saville, McNamara, Billy Mitchell, Mason Bennett, Tom Bradshaw. Mason Bennett involved. That's not bad. For 66 minutes he had 2 tackles, considering he was playing up front or playing in more advanced position. Interceptions, Alex Pearce, there you go. Footballing brain, being in the right place at the right time to intercept. Then Hutch and then Cooper. 6 players with interception. Mason Bennett again there with the defensive work. Clearances. Cooper 6, Pearce 3, and then Hutch, McNamara, Mitchell, Saville, Bradshaw with 2. Blocked shots. So who blocked the shots? These ones there. So there you go. In terms of passing, so the one with the most passes, Sean Hutchinson, Billy Mitchell, Alex Pearce, McNamara, Jake Cooper. But who was the standout? Well, we've already seen that Alex Pearce was really good, and that is good. Getting an 87.5 off of 40 passes is very good. Clearly didn't want to get into anything a bit too adventurous, but do what you can do. Do it right. Do it well. Anyone else stand out there? Probably Billy Mitchell. 77 off of 48. That's just on the very good mark. Shea Yojo, he's 87 was off of 23 passes, so not the most, but that's still decent, I should say. So there you go. Crosses and accurate crosses. So crosses, Shea Yojo 8 and 3, McNamara 3 and 0, Murray Wallace 2 and 0. Oh dear. So we've got 8 players having accurate cross. 8 players having crosses. And how many had accurate crosses? Only 2. Ojo and Bradshaw. Okay. Long balls, inaccurate long balls. So there's Bart 25 and 11. So that is, what is that? Just under 50%. That's not bad for him. That's not bad in terms of, normally a lot worse than that. Hutchinson not having a good one. 11 and 2. Alex Pearce 11 and 8. That's very good for long balls. Jake Cooper 9 and 4, Murray Wallace 7 and 2, McNamara 4 and 0, George Saville 3 and 0, Billy Mitchell 3 and 2. So there you go. Let's have a look what we'll actually do. How did Zach Lovelace actually do anything in that game? Did he get any touches or I don't know. So he came on. Didn't even touch the ball apparently, so he didn't touch the ball. How does he get a rating of 6.03 if he didn't really do anything? Don't know. Did he do anything offensively? No, that's all zeros as well. Defensively, no, that's all zeros as well. So he didn't really do anything, but did make a lot of the headlines as well. But yeah, it was good to see. Still good to see. Yeah, pretty strange situation for all involved. 15-year-old having to play in the first team because of all the COVID stuff. But there you go. So there you go. Jake Cooper, Murray Wallace, Bradshaw and Alex Pearce, standout players for Millwall yesterday. Yeah, fantastic stuff, absolutely brilliant. And with that, we're going to end the video. Thank you for watching and goodbye.